Good day, kind sirs and siresses. Madams. Madams is probably better than a made-up word, isn't it? Dames. Dames is even better. Sirs and dames. Good day, kind sirs and kind dames. Hello is probably a better way of saying it. We're moving on to our next maths lesson this week. Today's Wednesday. We're going to find the area of a right-angled triangle. So I've just put number 2 there because this is sort of the area of a triangle number 2, and we've got another lesson on it tomorrow as well. So we're going to move on quite swiftly. Fluency first. The reason why I've done this is because you're going to be doing a few of these timesing by a half questions later on today. So pause the video and have a go at what is 3 times 1 and a half. Think what 3 times 1 is, and then try and think what 3 times a half is. And then look at the 4s and the 6s as well. Actually, let me just change that to 2. Change that to 2 first. So pause it now. 2 times 1 and a half, 4 times 2 and a half, and then 6 times a half as well. Off you go. Okay, so hopefully nice and easy. So we can think of it. Let me get my pen out. We can look at that as 2 times 1, which is 2, hopefully, and then 2 times a half. Well, remember, whenever we're timesing by a half, so 2 times a half, what is timesing by a half the same as? Oh, it's the same as dividing by 2, isn't it? Okay, so the same as timesing by half is the same as dividing by 2. Because remember, if we keep flip, we change that to a dividing sign and flip that. 2 over 1 is the same as 2. So 2 times 1 equals 2. And then we're adding 2 times a half, which is 2 divided by 2, which is 1, which then altogether then equals 3 altogether. Let's have a look at this one. 4 times 2 then, let's do that one first. 4 times 2 is 8. That's quite a good 8, for saying I'm doing it with my mouse. And then we're then timesing by half as well, okay, or dividing by 2, which is 2. So 8 plus 2 then equals 10. That's one way of timesing by something and a half. Then finally this one, 6 times 0 is 0. So that's meant to be an equals, is 0. Add, and then what, 6 times a half, or 6 divided by 2 is 3. So that should then equal 3 altogether. So hopefully you got something like that right. Remember, if you're timesing by a half, it's the same as just halving it, dividing by 2. Okay. Right, moving on to this one then. So I'm going to rewind back to sort of, this is year 5 rewinding really, is what the different parts of a triangle, or the different lines of a triangle, I suppose. This is all to do with right angle triangle. So I've made sure I've got my right angle in the corner here. The right angle is anything you can make a perfect square out of, and it's 90 degrees that we've got there. And I'm interested in these 2 words, the base, which is the bottom of your triangle, and then the height. Now, if you notice, the base and the height are perpendicular to each other. They are next to each other and they make a right angle, okay? This little fella, the diagonal, I reckon will trip quite a few of you up, because I reckon you'll think that the diagonal line is the height of the triangle, but it's not, okay? The height of the triangle is where the base, you can draw a perpendicular line, a line that makes a right angle to its highest point, okay? And here is the highest point, and so that is the height. Now, it doesn't matter if I turn that triangle round, those lines are all the same. Okay, I just need to flip my head round so I can then see the base and the height and such and such like that. Now, I suppose in this way round, this will become the base because it's sat beautifully on that there, and then this will be the height that way. But it doesn't matter which way round it's flipped round, that is still going to be a diagonal line. Okay, so don't get tripped up by that line today. All right. Right, moving on to the first question then. Oh, I didn't want to show you that yet. Ta-da, there you go. So this is Rena, and she's got a triangle. She wants to find out the area of her triangle. But another quick rewind. If I'm working in centimeters and I'm trying to find the area, what am I going to measure my area in? Hopefully, you're screaming at your screen centimeters squared. Okay, because that's just coming off from yesterday. So she wants to find the area of this triangle. Now I'm going to sort of link back to yesterday again and think Mr. Barker showed us how to find the area of a triangle by finding the area of the whole rectangle the triangle is sat in and then dividing it by 2. So you might then draw your triangle inside your box. That's exactly what I've done here. I've drawn it 8 centimeters down, or 8 squares down, and then 5 centimeters across, 2, 4, 5 centimeters across, and then just drawn my diagonal line going up like that. So now this helps me work out, if I get my lines I suppose that might work. I can then work out, no, not that at all. Get rid of that. I want my line. There you go. Ta-da. Hopefully this has worked. There you go. I can then work out a whole rectangle by coming as wide as the triangle is and as tall as the triangle is as well. Okay, now I've worked out my rectangle. So I know this is 8 centimeters down and it's 5 centimeters across. So the area of my rectangle, area, I need to bring that over here, otherwise you won't see it. There we go. Area of, I couldn't say, area of the rectangle equals, and then what is it going to equal? It will be 5 times 8, which is 40 centimeters, and then squared. Okay, a little small 2 on top. That's the area of the rectangle. How do I work out the area of the triangle then? Well, I've worked out the area of the rectangle, so now I just need to halve it. So what's half of 40 centimeters? It then is 4 divided by 2 is 2, so 40 divided by 2 must be 20, about 10 times bigger. 20 centimeters squared, small 2 on top. Okay, I can get rid of that O there. So that's all we've done to work it out. Now, I don't need to draw the rectangle all the time now, because I'm getting used to looking at the base of my triangle and the height, and then dividing it by 2. The base of my triangle, height times it, and then divide it by 2. That's what I'm getting used to doing now. Now, if you need to do your little rectangle, by all means do the rectangle, and then work out the area of the whole rectangle, and then just halve it. Okay, that's exactly what I'm doing just inside my head. So now inside your books then. Power Maths has set it out like this. So it's told you to work out the area of the rectangle first. So something centimeters times something centimeter equals what centimeters squared. So you're just going to fill in the gaps there for me, and then find out the area of the triangle as well. So pause the video and have a go at that for me before we go through the answers. Excellent. Hopefully you've done okay there. So easy to fill out. I'm not going to bother filling out this line out. So it'll be 6 times 3, or 3 times 6 then would then be 18. Oh dear me, what have I done? Oh no. There we go. Would then be 18. There we go. Hopefully that's worked now. That would go there, 18 centimeters squared, and then that then, 18 centimeters squared, divided by 2, because we've halved it. What's 18 divided by 2? Hopefully you've realised then it is 9 centimeters squared for that triangle. Same thing here. So 2 times 2 then is 4. So then 4 divided by 2 then is going to be 2 centimeters squared. And then finally, the area of the rectangle here is going to be 4 times 11, which is 44 centimeters. Divide that by 2, which is then hopefully 22 centimeters squared that you've got there. Okay, right, now have a go at question number 2 for me. This is where you've got the halves. Okay, so just be careful trying to work out the area of the rectangle. Go back to when we're timesing by half. It's the same as dividing that number by 2. Remember, so this one, 4 times 3.5. What's 4 times 3? What's 4 times a half? Add them together. Okay, over to you guys. Pause the video. Good luck. Nice and easy then. So this one, I'm just going to draw the answer when I get my pen out. There we go. I'm just going to draw the answer. So 4 times 4 is 8. 8, what am I talking about? Geez. 4 times 4 is 16. Divide it by 2 then is 8 centimeters squared. That's the area of the triangle. We go to B here. 4 times 2 is 8. There you go. Oh, I almost tricked myself up there. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times a half is 2, so that's 10 centimeters for the whole rectangle, remember, and then I halve it, and then I end up with 5 centimeters squared that I've got there. Okay, because remember, I'm finding out the whole rectangle, and then I'm halving it. So 4 times 3 is 12, 4 times a half is 2, so it'll be 14 centimeters for the whole rectangle. Halve it, then will be 7 centimeters squared. Too many numbers, I can't say them correctly. And then it's the same thing here. Now, if you notice, there is my right angle there. It's talking about it being the other way around. So this is my diagonal. It's not my my base, even though it looks like it's sat on there. Okay, if I turn my head, I can see that this would then be my base because that is the perpendicular line. Okay, so I thought it might trip some of you up. Hopefully it didn't. If it did, not a problem. Let's try and work it out now. So 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times a half is 4, so that's 44 centimeters for the whole rectangle. If I drew the whole rectangle, half it then would be 22 centimeters squared for that triangle as well. Hopefully you did okay with that. Let's move on to what I want you to do inside your book now, okay? So what you're going to do is pause the video on each question so you can see the question, but it's very, very similar to what we've just done. Find the area of each shaded right angle, and then B is down here again, so you just need to find the area of those triangles and fill them in. And then your next set of questions then are these ones here. So Lexi thinks the two triangles below have the same area. Explain why Lexi is wrong. So it's already telling you she is wrong. So you've got to work out what the area of each triangle is, and that will tell you why Lexi's wrong, because she thinks they're both the same. Okay, and little cat over here is telling us to look at the lengths carefully. Does this relate to what Mr. Barker told us about the base, height, and diagonals? I wonder. And then we've got these ones here. So can you work out, circle the triangle with the greatest area? So work out A, work out B, work out C, work out D, and then circle the triangle you think got the biggest area. Okay, so pause the video on all your questions, answer them, and then we'll go over to the answers. Okay, so it's answer. Oh no, wait. Oh, sorry, got to reflect to do first. So explain how you can use the area of a rectangle to find the area of a right angle triangle. So that's just sort of going over how you worked out each area for each triangle for me. Okay, once you've done that, we're then going on to the answers, what we've got here. So remember, don't cheat and fast forward to this bit. You've got to do them yourself. So do them with you because I don't want people to cheat. So the area of this one then is 6 times 8 that I've got there. So 6 times 8, and then divide that by 2. I might even put them in brackets because that's the bit I want to do first. Okay, so 6 times 8 then, well, I know 6 times 6 is 36, add another one, 42, add another one, then it's 50, 54. Oh my God, I've forgotten. It's 54, there you go. 54, then divide that by 2. Well, half of 50 is 25, half of 4 is 2, so 25 by 2, then will be 27 centimeters squared. Next one then, 8 times 5 this time. 8 times 5 is 40, divide that by 2. Ta-da, there we go, which then will be 20 centimeters. Oh, I've done these the weird way around up in here. B and D here. And then we've got 3 times 9 then, which is nice and easy, 20, forgotten, 21, 24, 27. Woof, 27, divide that by 2. Oh, this is in meters squared now. What's that one? I wonder why it goes A, B, C, D then, if it goes centimeters, meters, centimeters, meters. Anyway, divide 27 by 2. Well, 26 divided by 2 then would be, that would be 10, that would be 13, that would be 13.5. So if I times 13.5, I then get, need to put a point in there at the same time. Meters squared. And then finally, 10 times 4.5 would then be 45. So 10 times 4.5 would then be 45 centimeters, or meters, sorry, I'm looking at this one. Divide that by 2 will be 22.5 meters squared altogether. Okay, give yourself a mark out of 2 for those questions. And finally, this one then, not finally, because we've got another few more here. 4 times 5 is 20. Divide that by 2 then is 10. So I know that A equals 10 centimeters, or meters, sorry, we're working in here, aren't we? 10 meters squared. Let's have a look at this one. Oh, wait. So she thinks they're correct because I reckon she thinks this is the base, 4, got 4 here, and then this is the height, which is 5, which would then give me 20 meters squared. Divide that by 2 is then 10. Wait a minute, she's made a bit of an error because remember, if this is the base, the height there would be, that's perpendicular, okay, it would be 3. Well, actually, this would be the base, wouldn't it? Because that's the smaller. So that will be the base, and then the height, how tall the triangle is then 4. So 3 times 4 is 12. Divide that by 2 then would then be 6 meters squared. Okay, so that is why she's wrong. So you need to explain what she's done wrong there. And then finally, let's look at the triangles below and circle one with the greatest area. Well, actually, looking at these questions, I could circle that one straight away. Why can I circle that one straight away, I wonder? What am I looking at to be able to circle that one straight away? Well, I'm looking at what it's measured in. Kilometers, well, 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. So kilometers is huge. Centimeters are quite small, millimeters are tiny, and I've got centimeters again. So that one's obviously going to be the biggest. Let's work out if they were all centimeters. Let's work out if they were all centimeters, see what we'd get. So 16 times 8. Well, I know that 10, this is how I would work it out. 10 times 8 is 80. So I've got 80, let's pretend they're all the same, so centimeters I've got there. And then 6 times 8 is 54, isn't it? Worked that out before. Add them together would then be 8 add 5, 0 add 4, I've started the start, haven't I? 0 add 4 is 4, 8 add 5 then is 13, so 134, then divide that by 2. Now, if I need to, I can do this, couldn't I? Put stop method. 134, divide that by 2. 2 into 1, I can't make it, so 2's, how many 2's? Lots of 2 going to get to 13. Well, it's an odd number, so if I go down to the next even number, that'll be 12, so it'll be 6, remainder 1. How many can I get into 14? Would then be 7. So it'd be 67 centimeters squared. We'll say they're all the same, remember. Let's have a look at this one. 12 times 10 is 120. Half it then will be 60 centimeters squared. Look at this one. 22 times 4, well, 4 times 2 is 8, so 88. And then half that then will be 44 centimeters squared. I know it says millimeters, but we're pretending they're all the same. And then finally, 11 times 8 is 88. Divide that, then is 44 centimeters squared. So in all fairness, you've probably circled A anyway, because it's the biggest area that we've got, biggest number that we've got. But actually, if you'd notice what we're measuring, our units of measurement, you'd notice this one's the biggest anyway. So that should be your answer. Post your answers onto your portfolios for me. It'd be nice to see what your reflect says as well. And hopefully, well, I will. There's no hopefully about it. I will see you all tomorrow for your last lesson on finding areas in the triangles. See you tomorrow, Year 6.